Good morning, traders. And just a minute here. Doesn't seem I am broadcasting in YouTube again. Dan, can you check on that? Okay. Huh. Uh, so any luck, Dan? I mean, I'm not. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I was muted there. All right. Well, we can get started here. Dan, I don't think I am broadcasting in YouTube. I'm not sure if you can check on that. I don't know. I am. I am now. Okay. I am sorry, guys. I am sorry about that. We'll have to go back and edit this video in the beginning here. Okay, well, welcome to the Bookmap webinar here. This is kind of a special event all week. Well, the next few days at least, this will be a special event. All of our webinars here, all of our streamers that are trading futures. Here's why. Well, we have a competition going on. It is we just started it about half an hour ago, futures trading competition, so December 10th through the 12th. It is exclusive to Bookmap subscribers. It is too late to sign up if you are interested in partaking and you did not sign up in time. We tried to get you in, and you get Global Plus. If you have to be a subscriber, but if you don't have Global Plus, you will get access to Global Plus Bookmap. You will also get access to futures data if you don't have it for the CME, and you also get access to free access to the MBO bundle if you don't have it. And that's what we're going to go through today, is understanding how to use this MBO bundle to make money and better trades. Stops and icebergs, on chart, subchart, Trader Map Pro, Market Pulse Algo Suite, and also the liquidity tracker. And we'll go through the details here, get you guys connected, etc. We're still offering our Global Plus for $39.60. It's 60% off for the first month only. This is our Cyber Monday deal. And it will end on the 12th, so on Thursday. So if you're interested in trying Bookmap, this is the time. Go for it at a really steep discount. All right, 60% off. And like I said, all week long here, we're going to be going through our Pro Trader webinar, MBO as the focus here, going through stops and icebergs and the other indicators that I had mentioned. In fact, later today, we have a special event to go through the MBO, kind of an ask me anything on how to use it, how all the different settings, etc. Let me show you where that is. It is on our YouTube channel, well, it's also in our Discord channel. In fact, it's better to come to our Discord channel on that. Let me show you the event here just a second. Not sure, BMX, what you don't see your name on the on there yet. So okay, yeah, here's the event here. And I can give you the link to it. It's with one of our developers here, Vadim, and myself, and we'll be going through the MBO bundle, how to get up and running, all the different indicators, all the different settings if you have questions, and then use case scenarios, how to use this for your trading. Tom B later today is going to be focusing on that as well. how he uses it, and and others. We had Mayhem earlier today. He went through his focus on it, and then Scott will go through his focus tomorrow, or I'm sorry, that will be on Thursday. So all of our streamers, Doug will go through it tomorrow. We'll cover and focus on these MBO indicators. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in and take a look here. I am looking at the S&P E-mini, and I may consider starting all over again here. Let me know what you guys think about that, if you want me to. Because I'm looking at TraderMap Lite here, or we can demo TraderMap Pro. So it might be good to just restart Bookmap completely and show you guys how to get up and running with some of these indicators. In fact, let's do it now. What's gonna happen is I will lose some of this data in here for the filtered version of Bookmap here with the TraderMap Pro. However, that's okay. We'll just there is that limitation because this MBO data. All right, so let's do it. I'll stop here and we'll add in, okay, and start all over again here and start from scratch. All right, so opening up my Bookmap. And yeah, okay. You have to go in the run options here of trading mode here. I'm not going to load my previous workspace. Okay, I'll deselect that. And I want to record my data. Let's click OK. Okay. And Bookmap should get up and running. Okay, so I'm not connected to anything. Now you can, go to the guide here or watch tutorials. But for those of you who don't have any of these connections, you can see it. I'm not connected to anything right now. So we're going to go through the whole process. It won't take long. There's videos on all of this on the competition page. Okay, so let me show you where that is, and that will answer your questions. But I don't want to spend too much time on this because we went over it in detail yesterday in our webinar. However, we will we'll go through it quickly here. So this is where you find the quick start resources here. This was how to register. This is how to get connected, and this is about setting orders. We'll do these two here today, and we'll do this one really quickly, and then we'll talk all about the MBO and get involved into some trades and trade from the chart here. All right, so in fact, I'm going to remove the Bookmap data as well. Okay, and we'll start from the beginning here. All right, so go up to connections, configure a connection. We're going to add a platform here. We're going to scroll down, and then we see Bookmap data. If you don't see it in here, okay, under available for install, then you may have already added it. I can just remove it and then go back down here, and then here it is. This is a beta version that's pretty old. So this is the new version here. I'm going to install it. Okay, ready to go. All right, now I want to install another one though too. All right, so this is the trading simulator here. I'm going to remove it here, and then we're going to come back down and I'm going to install it here. Okay, ready to use. Okay, good to go. All right, now let's go back here, and now we need to add it in here. All right, so let's see if it's if we see it here, or do I need to? Okay, here's my Bookmap data. Okay, I'm going to add it, and I'm going to select it. I'm also going to come in and configure again. And here's my, I need to add the connection here. So click on the drop down, Trading Simulator. This is important. This is in the 24/7 simulator demo account here, but go to competition, click on that. You can read about it here, just click OK. You got to go back to connections, select Trading Simulator, and now we're all ready to go. Now we need to just add an instrument. Okay, so let's come in and we can add, let's add all three that are available for the competition. Okay, so one is the NASDAQ here. Okay, so we'll add that. And we're going to add another here, which is the ES. Okay. Okay, and 1 hour of data. Okay, we can add more if we want. And then I'm also going to add the Russell. All right, so we got all three instruments up. Okay, let me see if there's any questions so far, guys. Sure that you have set the Trading Simulator to competition. Should be. It says right here, yeah, futures competition. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Alois, you're answering a question there. Got it. Okay. Sounds good. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Alois. All right, guys. Okay, so we've got that up and running. And I'm just going to kind of drag and drop these around. I like having the ES over here on the left. Now, this is great. Okay, I'm all set up. However, I want to use the TraderMap Pro version. Now, let's add that in here. Okay, so we'll click on the configure add-ons, and now you guys should have all access, free access for the duration of this competition to the MBO bundle. Okay, this is great because you can really try it out here and see how you like it. Right now, scroll down, and we're going to add. I mean, you'll likely have to add the add-ons here through the manager. You'll click on that. You'll scroll down here. And you'll see it available for install here. Okay, that's how you'll install it. You click on the install button. Okay, now I've already got it here. I've got it right here, TraderMap Pro. I've also got stops and icebergs on chart, stops and icebergs sub chart, and I also have the liquidity tracker up here, liquidity tracker Pro that is, and I also have the market pulse suite here as well. Okay, if you don't have it, you'll just add it in here and you'll see it, and then click OK, and then it should pop up in here. All right, and I'm also maybe tomorrow or maybe this afternoon I'll also show you trading statistics in here. Actually, I will show it to you a little bit later though. All right, so now we've got all of our add-ons here. And just come up and check the box and click on it, and you'll see all of the different settings in here. Now, like I said, this afternoon we'll go through all of these settings with Vadim and brief you on all of these and go through the use case scenarios. I'm primarily going to go through use case scenarios now so that you guys understand how to use this in the live competition in the market here. Then we'll get into the settings later this afternoon in more detail. All right, but first thing first, we want to look at that TraderMap Pro. All right, so in fact, let me get rid of all of the other ones here, and we're going to add a new one. So hit the Create button here, and then select your instrument here. Okay, you can give it a name if you like, and then click the Add button. Go to a filter, and then Bot Remover is the filter we want. Okay, this is the default for it. It comes up like this. And you can see this is different than the TraderMap Lite version, which is free, where you only have 3 settings. You have standard, kind of high filter, and low filter. This, you have a lot more flexibility here, and that's the edge here. Right, I'm just going to use the default here, right, and we're just going to go with what it gave me here, and let's see how we like it. It should get rid of this bot that we see in here. Right, so I'll click on that, and then it Oh, okay, so the on chart is supported, but not the subchart is supported here. Okay, so now here it is here. It creates a new instrument, a synthetic instrument, and here it is. All right, so you can see that actually some of that bot is still visible in here. Well, let's get a little more data in here, and we may decide to change the filter a bit. Okay. All right. Let's do the same for the NASDAQ and the Russell. Okay, so I'll go over to the NASDAQ. I'm going to click on the Trader Map Pro here. I'm going to create a new one. NASDAQ is already selected because that's where I am. And then we're just going to click the Add button here, Filter, Bot Remover, keep it at default, and then click Play. Okay, let's do one more. We'll go over to the Russell. And now we'll click on Trader Map Pro, create, selected here already, and then bot remover, press play, use the default, and we're up and running. Okay, so now I'm going to move these around, drag and drop these around a little bit. Here's my Russell, regular Russell. Okay, I'm going to move that over next to my Trader Map Pro Russell. You can see it here. It says tm.pro. Here's my NASDAQ. I'm going to move that over next to my NASDAQ. And then my ES Trader Map Pro, I'm going to move that over here to next to my my ES chart. Okay, I'm good to go. Right now, if you want, you can come up here and you can save your workspace as, and we can say this is for the competition and December 2024. All right, and we'll press save. All right, we are good to go. Okay, now we're going to trade off of this chart here, and we're going to route our trades over to the ES here for the competition. Okay, so we click on the drop down here. This is how you do it. First off, you'll need to open up your trade control panel, and then we're going to click on the cross instruments trading. If you don't see it here, right click in here, and then you'll see it says hide, or you'll see add panel. We'll hide it for now, and we'll actually add it back in. Okay, I'm going to right click, and this is how, if you don't see it, okay, this is how you add it. All right, there it is. And now we're all set. I'm going to click on the drop down here, and I'm going to select the futures competition here and press start. Okay, I've activated it here. It says so. I am good to go. All right, now I need to come back up here, click on what I want to trade from, the chart, the DOM, or both. And I'm going to select the pin here so that it's always up. And now we can input how much leverage we have in here for our account. Yeah, let's see here. Maybe I think I can trade up to, what did we determine yesterday? 15 or 16 contracts for the ES, and I think it's 11 for the NASDAQ. We'll just choose 10. Okay, and you got your bracketed orders, the OCO, etc. All right. Now to set orders in here, let me open up the sub chart panel. We'll go over setting orders in a minute. Let's get up and running with all the MBO indicators, right? So let's just make sure they're all up and running. So first off, we got our Trader Map Pros up. Okay, now we're going to add stops and icebergs, not to Trader Map Pro though. We're going to go back to the original instrument here, and you can see I already have it here in the subchart here. Unfortunately, the subchart stops and icebergs does not work in the Trader Map Pro version, but the on chart does. Okay, so we should actually see it here. So let's see. I've got it up and running here. If you don't see it, just come in here and select on chart here, and make sure you check your icebergs, and you can do your filtering in here, which we will go over maybe later today or maybe a little bit during this webinar. So show stops, show icebergs, we're good to go there. Okay, now let's go back to our TraderMap Pro version, and we know we're trading into our simulated account, and you can see that we have stops and icebergs on here. The icebergs are showing up here already. Okay, stops as well, right? Okay, good. All right, so any questions on that for this competition? No. Okay. All right, just want to make sure that we're all set here. And I still don't really like the NASDAQ looks pretty good. The filtering here, even the NASDAQ is, maybe I want to filter out a little bit more of that activity in here. Let's get rid of these candles. All right, so we want it maybe a little more sensitive then. All right, so let's go back to our TraderMap Lite. I'm sorry, TraderMap Pro. And then what I'm going to do is on our ES in here, we're going to pause it. Okay, right here. Okay. It actually closes it, but the data is still there. So we'll go back in here and open it up again, TraderMap Pro. And we are going to on here. Did I just do right, okay. So here we're going to play around with the sensitivity in here. Okay. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit more, make it a little more sensitive, and let's see what it does here. Okay, click play, and then let's go check out our chart. Notice the chart pops out over here now. Okay, I'm going to move it right back. Okay, yeah, that looks a little bit better. Okay, it filtered out some of that bot and that sensitivity. Okay, it looks better. All right, I'm good with that setting. All right, let's take a look here and look for some opportunities in here. Up and running also with let's get up and running with our NASDAQ and also with our I'll have to reestablish the trading again here, and let's go back to our NASDAQ. How's our NASDAQ look? Yeah, let's play around with that TraderMap Lite in here as well. I'm sorry, TraderMap Pro for the NASDAQ. Up, press pause. Okay, we got to open it up again. Okay, so here it is, and then I'm going to bring up that sensitivity for that NASDAQ, and let's press play. Okay, and then how does our TraderMap Pro look for our? Yeah, this one's still. So you can see, like we need to adjust it a little bit, which is fine. Here's my NASDAQ. Looks a little bit better. I like it. I like it. I can see that that bot is kind of gone, but it's showing me high liquidity in here, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, and filtering out the bot activity. So let's let's take a look at our Russell. I also want to get rid of that activity in here. We'll go back to TraderMap Pro. Okay, here's our Russell. Let's open it up. Pause. Come back and bring up the sensitivity and press play. Okay. It's here. Let's see what it looks like as it populates here. That's a little bit better. I'm going to bring it up a little bit more actually. Let's get rid of time and sales here. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good to me. I like it. I can see a little bit remnant of the bot in here, but I like it. It looks good to me. Okay, any questions so far? Anyone have any issues getting up and running with this? Okay, I mean, I'm really excited for this MBO bundle access. This is great. You know, we get a lot of questions about it. We don't have trials for it, but we do now. Okay, so go for it. Check it out. Now, let's start to use the stops and icebergs in here. And also Market Pulse. I want to get up and running with Market Pulse, and I want to show you something with Market Pulse. All right, so let's go actually, we'll go to NASDAQ in here. And we are also going to trade from this chart here with TraderMap Pro. We're going to start, okay? And then we're going to trade from the chart or both. You can see I'm already off and at a loss in here with my NASDAQ. So the we're all set to trade in here. We don't have the indicators on here. Okay, so we need to go back to NASDAQ here. And in fact, we can close the trading NASDAQ. And we can go in here and add in stops and icebergs on chart and sub chart. And we want to look at the on chart though. All right, so let's select it. And also stops. Okay, we're all set. And I also have liquidity tracker in. Not going to display. All right, so let's go back here. And here are stops and icebergs. Okay, great. All right, looking good. Let's put CVD on the sub chart here. And let's also, we might have an opportunity coming up here as we're trading into high liquidity down here. But let's also add in the Market Pulse tool. I want you guys to also experience this Market Pulse tool and try it out. We've got so many algos in here to try out. You can see there's a whole list of them here. We're just going to start with the this one here for the NASDAQ trader. This is TraderMap Lite. I got to come back in here, select it for TraderMap Pro. Okay, here we go. And this is volume, pressure, and balance. I'm just going to start with this one. This one is pretty popular, so we'll start with that one. And it populates down here in the subchart as well. Okay, so in fact, this might be a potential signal, right? Here we traded into high liquidity. Okay, and here is you can see that it went beyond the 70% threshold here. Okay, and let's see if we can maybe get a little bit of a pullback in here. Okay, so this is something to consider. We'll go through a whole little setup in here. Right, here's our pullback. Right, let's I'm just gonna jump in with 5 or 10 right there, and let's see what we get here. All right, so we'll put in a. Ooh, I don't even know if I can do this here because I'm highly leveraged here. Let's see if I can put in a OCO order. Yes, I can. Okay. Oh, we're already filled. All right. So there it is. So now I'm down 1,000. Quick little scalp on that. And you can see how quickly you can add up if you fully leverage in here or draw down as well. But let's go through a setup in here. So I just saw something quickly, so I wanted to grab it and jump in. All right, and it is a setup in here. All right, so let's go through it in here. This is a very simple setup, though. I think you guys will find very, very helpful. All right, first let's notice here with the Trader Map Pro, notice how we're trading into high liquidity down here. Okay, we traded into it basically in several areas down here, but this is the biggest here. Okay, and look at the transaction. It is the biggest on the chart as well. All right, so this, without looking at any indicators in here, this is meaningful, especially in the NASDAQ. It is meaningful. You typically see little bumps or pullbacks or even reversals at some of these areas in here, and it's very simple. We've been covering it for a long time in the All Markets webinar. So just understand that you're trading into high liquidity. These are the buyers. These are the aggressive sellers. They trade through it a little bit, but we're starting to not find sellers. We're starting to find buyers. All right. So we kind of thought, well, maybe we missed it here. We'll wait for a pullback. Then got in, and then that one worked out pretty nicely. We'll go over to take profit up here. Why as well? Like high liquidity stop run here of 50, and then there's some structure here as well. All right. So anyway, let's go through the setup here and what it looks like, and we'll enumerate it. Okay. Number one, on a higher time frame, we traded into high liquidity. Okay. The transaction was met. Typically, especially in this market, we look for a bounce, maybe even a reversal. Secondly, what about stops and icebergs? Okay, so I don't see too many icebergs on the way down here absorbing, but we do have some nice stops here. 31, 8, and then 2 here. Now, what's going on in here? Right, we see there's quite a few stops all the way down here. 38, 34, 81 here, big one here. Not quite as big, but there's something in here to start to understand. That it made a lower low in here. Price made a lower low and found less stops. Okay? This is something to consider. All right, so now we have number one is the most important thing is we traded into high liquidity. Okay, we traded through a little bit, but we started to find some buyers. We know that. We saw them here. Okay, we got a pullback, luckily enough. It didn't just go racing off to the upside, and that's when we got in. Okay, so we have first off is our high liquidity and the transaction took place. Secondly, we also had some stops hit. We went lower and we have less stops hit. So what can we derive from that? Is that first off, a lot of people got stopped out and it retested and went lower, and we're finding less sellers in here. So what we're talking about here is maybe they're kind of drying up. We'll go back and retest this theory here, but it's very, very simple that if we're not finding sellers in here and we're not finding people in pain getting stopped out, well, we're not going to go much lower unless you find new sellers engage and go for the next level of high liquidity. Okay, we also have something else in here to add into your plan, and that's the figure here of 21,550. Okay, just below it, stop a bunch of people out. Larger players with high liquidity in here want to be buyers, and then we found some buyers in here. Look at the 84 stops up here. That's pain. That's people in here getting it wrong and getting stopped out. Maybe they're exiting the market with a profit. We don't know. Maybe they started to see this starting to drop and said, okay, it's below 550. I'm a seller below 550. If so, then they're feeling the pain on the way back up. Okay, so these are considerations for using the stops in this example here. Okay, we don't have too many icebergs to go through, but stops is working out very nicely here. Okay, so we can go back and take a look at some of the same ideas again and again. Here it is again. Look at this. Okay, 102, 4, and 2. no more pain, right? And starting to find buyers on the other side. Okay, moving it up. Where are they going to? Well, to squeeze high liquidity over here on the offer. And here we go. All right, so there's our squeeze. I'm looking for them to trade a little bit higher here. All right, so let's go back and let's create a setup in here. This might take a little bit of time, but it'll be worth it. Or maybe if you guys, I'll have it for the next webinar, but I'll try to go through it quickly in here as well. We have this indicator in here called setups checklist. Okay, I'm going to bring that up, and you can create your own in here. Right, so I'm going to edit it. I'm going to go to settings in here, and I'm going to modify this one. Okay, it comes up as Notepad here, as a CSV, right? And I'm going to mess with it here. The first thing was high liquidity filled. At an important level. Okay. Okay. Next was we noted the high liquidity at important level. Okay, that is the most important. And then secondly, we had stops, and we had less stops. Stop run. Let's just put in numbers in here too. 1, 2, high liquidity, stop run, less stops on. Yeah, we can share the notepad. Garunden, I'll actually, you know what, I'm gonna probably stop short on this setup in here, and we'll go over it in the next webinar, and I'll share it there. All right, but I just want to demo this in here. There's another couple of things in here. I'm just going to add them in because I want to use the market pulse, which is a really good one for the NASDAQ. Hey, heck, you know, there's even you can look for CVD extreme reading as well. This is a la Crash F16. That's his setup. So something like this, okay, and then we are going to I think we just save it here. And it looks like we need to add it back in. Port. So to libraries. No. Trading statistics symbols. Okay, no, I'm sorry, guys. I know there's problems with this. I usually have to go through it and do it in Excel. I can't save the notepad as CSV for some reason. I've had that issue in the past. All right, so we'll just stop here on this. I'll go through the process and share it with you guys later, but I want to go through this setups checklist here. Okay, so the other instance in here is using the indicator here from the stops and ice from the MBO bundle, and that is the market pulse tool here. All right, so here we just had it again in here. Okay, so and look at the bounce. Okay, look at these buyers in here. Okay, this is bullish. All right, we have more liquidity in here, at a higher level, and we just traded into it. Now we see the transaction took place, and we see the bounce out of that area. Okay, they're up higher in here. This market pulse tool, like I said, works very, very well with the NASDAQ, gold, crude oil, also the ES. I find that it works a little bit better on a little bit thinner markets, at least for the volume pressure imbalance. Okay, boy, you can just snag some of these trades and have some nice little winners here. But again, it's the same principles we've been going through over and over about understanding how these markets work, where the buyers, where the sellers are, etc. Buyers met the sellers in here, and we have a stop run as well. Here we have an extreme market pulse, and we have a move up. Okay, where's our target? My first target would probably be here or up here. Okay, at 580, or maybe take some off up here at this 570 liquidity there, and I am good to go. All right, so we'll look for another one. Let's take the same idea here, and we'll jump over to the S&P. All right, now we can keep this widget for the market pulse up, but now I'm going to jump over to the Trader Map Pro here, and we are all set to trade. Okay, and let's go through. Let's add the market pulse. Pace of tape, and I have Trader Map Lite here, which is no longer available, so I got to add my Trader Map Pro here. Perfect. Go. Up and running. I'm just using the default here. If you right click on these, you see the settings in here. Half-life of 10 seconds, training period of 5 minutes. I'm just using the default. Play around with these in here though. This is how and why I'm going through this so quickly is to very simply show you how to build an edge with these tools. Okay, so yeah, look at the ES trading into high liquidity right now. Stop run as well. We're up at highs, it looks like. Okay, so I'm not sure if those are highs of the day. Let's look at our candlestick chart. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you can see the highs here. Down the 15-minute. Here's the hourly and our daily here. These guys over here. Down a bit. Okay. All right, and look at our daily in here. So this is kind of the buyers here from the other day in the bullish move, the retest yesterday, and we're moving back into the range here. What about the hourly? Okay, well, here's that gap fill that we saw. I think, is this the gap fill we saw yesterday? A little bit lower. Now we're coming back up on the hourly here. I'm looking for, this looks like a great target for the hourly here. So 60.78, 15-minute chart. Let's see here. 60.78 is up here, or 60.80, somewhere around there. Let's see if we can get some momentum in here on that buy side. Maybe a little bit higher in here, we'll see. All right. So so far, we see it kind of fading back in here. So maybe we're not looking for the most bullish move in here. So we'd be looking for more deeper pullbacks in here, right, on this ES. Okay, so let's take a look here. In my subchart, I've got CVD, I've got my market pulse, volume and balance, I've got the liquidity heat map, I've got my stops with the red dot here, and I got my icebergs in here. Okay, so a lot more icebergs here in the ES, as you guys can see. Right, so we just traded into high liquidity, and what is our assumption when we trade into high liquidity? That we typically get a pullback. Okay, we've got it. Right, so that's what we're seeing here on these charts right here, right now. Okay, is we don't see it in here, of course, in the candlestick chart. This is why we're pulling back at the moment. Okay, we traded into all that high liquidity up in here. Okay, which is all nicely filtered here with Trader Map Pro. All right, let's take a look here. Now, again, let's do some quick back testing in here. Build out a trading plan, right? Garundan, I know I'm kind of going through it quickly in here, but that's okay. Chat packed, you should be able to have, reach out to support@bookmap.com. You should have Trader Map Pro. It should be available. You might need to upgrade your Bookmap. Okay, that might be the issue. Okay. All right, so here we are coming back again, right? We're looking for that pullback in here. We got it, and we didn't get an extreme down here. Now this is what I want to go through. Is let's look at the extremes and match it up with liquidity in here. So our this is more indicator based, but it's a quick way to back test. I like that very, very much. It's one of the best features I find of this market pulse tool. How quickly you can go back and see how does this work, right? It's right here in front of us. Traded into the high liquidity. We get an extreme reading here. We get a pullback. Beautiful. Where do we go? The swing here, okay? Just below it into some of the liquidity down here. Beautiful. This one worked, all right? What about this one here? Extreme reading. Is it high liquidity in here? Not really. It's up above, right? That's why we're looking for this one. So this one, we didn't have all the pieces of the puzzle here. We didn't have it trading into high liquidity, okay? Price trading into it, right? So you would disregard this one. I do not see any sells on the sell side here. Here we do, right here. See how it's a little bit more red down here, brighter red here, or a brighter green up above in the tips. Okay, so here we did have a sell. All right. We also had a buy here. Yeah, this did it trade into high liquidity down here? Not really. Okay, might want to disregard that, but this one's kind of a special case. I want to cover that actually, because we're in an up move. We traded into high liquidity here, and we got our pullback, right? Now we got an extreme reading here on the sell side, on the pullback, but where? To the market structure here, the price structure, okay, of these swings in here. We also have a stop run, right? Now you can see that this worked out, but how well did it work? Not too great. We kind of didn't have all that high liquidity in here, and this was a little bit of a a slow move in here. It is with the trend. That's the good thing here. However, this could have easily rolled over and come back and tested down here, okay? Because we see that hard selling in here, right? So we're gonna, as you can see, we're kind of going through and filtering these. Here we see extreme volume in here, okay? This move here. Are we hitting high liquidity? Not really. We're hitting some, and we get a mild pullback in here, right? So some of these aren't working, and there's reasons for it. Some are working really, really well. Okay, so it's really the high liquidity is the key here. Here, actually, look at this one here. High liquidity, it transacts. Here we do have a small stop run. However, we didn't get that extreme reading in the market pulse, okay? And we got a nice move here. So this one was a little bit of a head fake for us. All right, so anyway, there's 3 or 4 examples right away. So we're going to look for high liquidity, it transacts, then we're going to look at market pulse. Gold is not part of SAS. We're in a competition right now. We're going over the MBO bundle. The MBO bundle will work on gold. However, we can't trade that for the competition. Okay, so we're going to go through this for the ES, the NQ, or the Russell. All right, here we go. Now, are we trading into high liquidity? No. All right, but so let's temper this then. Maybe what we'll do then is we'll look for market structure, as well as maybe just toning down the the buying here, right? We have an iceberg and we have stops. Beautiful. Okay, so we got like 2/3 of our setup in here. So we're getting a little bit of a bounce out of it. It's like a point or two maybe of a scalp. Okay, so there's something to this, right? I mean, we're kind of onto something here. This is like, again, like I said, I'm not much of an indicator-based trader, but you know, when you start to look for these confluences together, then you've really got something. Okay. As you guys know, I like to look at the pure price action, the heat map. I do like the stops and icebergs a lot, and just not much for the indicator-based stuff. I do not consider stops and icebergs indicators for whatever that makes sense, for whatever reason. Okay, so let's go back and let's continue on here. All right, so yeah, we had pretty nice. It's still sellers in control in this move. High liquidity didn't really hit, so that's what kind of kept us away from it. Okay, you guys over in YouTube can hear this market pulse tool when it works. There's another way of using this tool as well we kind of went through, and it in another webinar, and we didn't have good luck with it. But let me take CVD off here for a moment, and then we'll just take a look at the highs here on this move down. Okay, we're not getting extreme buying in here. Well, this makes sense because we're moving down. We're in a downtrend. Okay, so we're looking for this area in here. Get the pen tool out. This area in here as being kind of an extreme reading, basically, in a trend. Does this make sense? So this would be your pullback. This would be another pullback. Okay, and what we would be looking for then is sellers to start to come in after this kind of move up into this area here, and then we're looking for exiting on extreme volume here with market pulse into and targeting high liquidity here. Okay, we're trading it into, not looking for a bounce out of it. We're trading into that high liquidity. Okay, so that's another way of using this and looking at this. I'm not sure if I'm ready to take that one. I mean, we had 300 stops here and then 62 here. So we might start to find some buying interest now. I'll stay away from it. All right. Here's another one in here to take a look at, our price structure in here. Starting to understand that structure. Okay, here we go. Trading into some liquidity. Now they're starting to pull some of that liquidity up here. Okay, we're not getting much of a reading here. And we can also look at CVD. I know a lot of you guys like to look at the CVD extreme along with market pulse. And that is from Crash F16 in our Bookmap Academy. He noticed that, and one of the patterns that he looks for. Okay, let's go through, guys. Really, any questions here about the MBO? I'm just kind of or the stops and icebergs in here. How to read these things? How to use them? You know, another way of, I mean, you're typically going to see this again and again, is the stop runs, at least, typically don't happen in the middle of a move. They happen at the extremes. That makes good sense. That's where people are exiting, and they're fearful. They don't want to take the risk of having it really go against them. Boy, I'm not seeing much at all in here right now on the S&P. Let's zoom out. Let's look at our bigger picture. Okay, so this is what we were looking at earlier, and we were thinking maybe we're bullish in here. We traded into high liquidity, and this has been a real big pullback now. Yeah, I thought it would be a lot more mild, and I thought we'd try to get back up into these areas up in here. But nope. We're seeing quite a few more sellers here. This is the target here, the swing, and the high liquidity here at 67 and 66. Okay, we'll be buyers maybe down here. SAS, do institutions use sell icebergs to fill big orders? Absolutely. Sell and buy. This one here is 189 that was canceled, but we know that 189 transacted and then was canceled. Okay, here's another cancel, but on the offer up in here, this one was fully executed. The E stands for executed. All right, well, we're at a really good level here in this S&P. Okay, I just want to see it trade into high liquidity. Okay, and then I want to see the buyers come in. Okay, if they come in. If they don't, then maybe we'll look to short. Okay, 46 stops. There's 39. So there's still some pain in here. So still looking for this to go lower. Okay, we just had now it's getting interesting here. Okay, we have our extreme reading. In fact, why don't we do this? Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to take a shot in here with a small lot. All right, and because we have extreme, we have high liquidity, and you know, the and market pulse. Okay, high liquidity, below the swing. Okay, here's where we can maybe even add in a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to take profit up here at maybe 68. This is one thing to note in here. See this little range in here that is creating? We might not find enough buyers to break out of that little range in here. Okay, we might not get that pullback we're looking for. This might be as far as it goes. In a big trend move, this is typically what you see. Okay, we're going to stick with this though, and we're going to still look for buyers to come in. Okay, so you can see the liquidity kind of flashing in here at 68. All right, there we go. So one lot filled. We can move maybe our stop up and take a little bit of got a little bit of breathing room in here. I'm gonna let's see here. Let's zoom out a bit. Yeah, that was a good area to take some profit. Maybe this is also a good area up here in front of this high liquidity up here. Yeah, I'm going to move it down for now, but we may move it right back up. And we may move it to the top of the range up in here. Let's take a look at our bigger picture in here. Yeah, this isn't bad actually. We can probably get a move back to maybe 72, and we're filled though. Okay, that's fine. That was our plan. But probably more likely after this extreme move in here, more likely we can float back up to about 72 here. All right. So anyway, it was a small position for a couple lots, and we're out. Okay, let's see here. A bit more stops, a bit more buying. Yep, still finding a little bit of pain here. Another stop run or stops triggered up here at 25. 25 at least were filled. Okay, maybe we can get back up to that 72 area. This is another part of the strategy that I was kind of detailing. Is aligning with higher time frame areas in here on our candlestick chart. Okay, I mentioned that in the write-up there, but like it's really important. I kind of glossed over the importance of it. Okay, because that's where you see the bigger moves and the bigger swings. You can just easily go back and kind of back test them in here as well. I mean, look at the swings up into here. This one failed when it really stopped out probably a lot of people, got a lot of people going long, and then they just felt tremendous pain on the way down. Okay, so anyway, yeah, we want to look at these bigger, higher time frame swings and understand that it's very simple in here. It's kind of like it's auction market theory, but it's a little bit like volume profile. But it's you don't have to have the profile to understand this concept here. This is where the majority of the trading is taking place. Okay, this is the value area for today. Right, so this is the upper edge, this is the lower edge. All right, so if we reject down here, we are likely going to come into the value area someplace in here, and that was our 72 level that we just talked about. All right, so and we don't know after that, but we're fading the outside edge and trading it back into here. Does that make sense? Okay, now what we're doing in Bookmap is looking at the order flow, because you can't see anything in these candles in here. You're just really placing blind orders, like up in here, totally blind order. You know, you didn't see all that high liquidity in here. You didn't understand that this up in here stop runs into high liquidity, and then also extreme volume there, and it can't get through. You know, we see a really nice nice move to the downside, again to high liquidity down here. CMJ, you cannot take trades, unable to use the trade control panel. Okay, reach out to support. They will get you up and running. You registered though. Make sure that, I mean, you have registered, right? Okay, because otherwise you won't be able to partake. Let me take a look at your image here. Got it. Okay, do you have the trade simulator open? Okay, I don't know. I don't see it. Here's your image, but I don't see. It's over here. You need to open up the here. Yeah, this is the issue. Try this. CMJ. Click on none here on the drop down, and then you'll select competition. See mine right next to it, and then click start. Okay, then click on both and then pin it, and then you can trade from the chart. All right, guys, we kind of missed another one here. We traded up and we got out up here. We thought it was going to go a little higher here, 72. It did not, and we're seeing selling coming right back in. Now, again, we have another extreme reading here, and high liquidity, and at a higher time frame level. That's kind of important here. Right now we're down here again though, so I need to see a lot of buyers come back in now, otherwise we're going to get continuation to the downside here, right? But if we start to see buyers come in, this is again kind of our setup. I don't like this in here. I don't see that high liquidity really transacting in here. Okay, they pulled it, they're down here, they pulled it away from here and they're down here. Right, so then that means we have to rely on the aggressor more. Okay, the buyers aren't here. We need to look for the green dots to be the buyers. Right, so we're going to kind of stay away until we see more green dots or high liquidity trade, or both. Okay, you're all connected. You're able to take a trade, CMJ. Maybe just set an order on the offer or on the bid. So just you know, right click above current price and see if you got it. You shouldn't have to restart Bookmap at all. I mean, just add in this trade simulator here from the connections. So go to configure, right? And then add remove platform. I guess you probably already did that. But then from your drop down, just select it here, start, and you should be able to trade. Okay. I don't want to mess with Alois. Like, he is right almost like 99.9% of the time. So see if you don't have to restart though. That's the thing. All right. Because I don't think you should. I don't think you should have to restart. Oh, you already did it. Okay. All right. No problem. All right. So we kind of stayed away from this one in here. We just weren't too, it was kind of wishy-washy, right? It was kind of setting up, but kind of not. So we stayed away from it. Let's look at our higher time frame in here. Guys, do you want to look at the NASDAQ? I mean, we're going to get a lot more out of the NASDAQ or the Russell than we will with the ES. I mean, at least for the purpose of the webinar and trading. I know everyone likes the ES, but it's up to you. I'm here to help you however you like. Okay, Sam, on what trade? This trade here, what I saw? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, this long in here. Okay. Very, very simple. I will write this up for you guys. And we're going to kind of lean on the crutch here of the market pulse. But and hey, it doesn't matter. This has been giving us really good signals. It just has to be in confluence with other things. Good morning, Jas. This is it here. High liquidity. Okay. Important swing below this swing in here, but the high liquidity is down here. It transacts. Okay. We also had the market pulse. And so first off, really important is that it's a higher time frame level, like we had mentioned. And then that high liquidity trades. And then look at this. This looks horrible to go long in here, right? But we had our reasons in here. Okay. The stop run here, and then we go lower, and we're seeing less stops. Look at this. We even go lower here and we don't have any stops. Okay, or at least by the settings I have here. I'm looking for a bit of buying, and let's take it back up, right? We're looking for, we don't know. Maybe it just stays in this little, on a big trend, and a lot of selling pressure. This is about as far as it will go, and it rolls over, and then we get stopped out at a loss. Okay, so up here, if it's going to spike up in here, and I've got my channel as well, I'm just going to reduce some risk. That was all. Okay, but I was going for this liquidity up here. In fact, I was kind of thinking maybe we'd go to 72. Well, in the end, you can see that was a good decision not to go and front run that liquidity up here at 72. Okay, now we see the buyers coming back in here. Okay, now this one's a little more convoluted though, and I don't want to confuse you guys too much. There's kind of ebbs and flows of our setup in here that we're talking about, or kind of outlining here. However, it's not really there. And then we're kind of said, well, then we're looking for our aggressive buyers in here, and they're not really in here either. Look at how kind of thin it is. It's not bad in here, but it's really thin up here. Okay, so they're not really showing up. Okay, I'm still kind of looking, I want something a little more solid to lean on, and that would be this liquidity transacting down here, and then finding our buyers, and then looking for our confluences. Okay, makes sense? Yeah, we were there when this happened. So anyway, that's why we do these webinars in real time, and we go through these setups in here. Just try to keep it really simple. I mean, look, it's about supply and demand. Where is here, let me just mark this up. Where is the demand? It's here. Okay, you can also see the demand in here with the green dots, right? Where is the supply? Well, it's up in here. Okay, and you can kind of see some of it getting filled in here. So this is kind of wishy-washy in here, and it's just not a classy, it's not a grade A setup, right? And then look at the price action, because it's not a grade A setup. Look at it here. It is horrible. It's just kind of sloshing around in here. Okay, so we're looking for this down here. Or we're looking for this up in here. Let's go back. Let's look at our bigger picture. All right, so here, getting kind of interesting. We talked about this kind of being the area of value. So actually now it's kind of being redefined a little bit lower here. Guys, this principle here that I'm going over is exactly the same as understanding like maybe your volume point of control. Okay, that maybe it's starting to shift down because it's starting to accept outside of this and starting to build volume down here. Same principle. Okay, same idea. Okay, we're coming up on the European close, and still not seeing much in here. Okay, we'll be ending the webinar in about 10 minutes or so. So get your questions in about MBO using the stops and icebergs and market pulse. Okay, again, this was pretty nice in here on the stops and icebergs. We have icebergs here. We have stops in here, and we just didn't have that high liquidity. It didn't look as good as this. See the difference? See how this looks pretty good. And this in here can go either way. And another thing too is like, you might think like here, well, it's probably likely going to come down here, right? Likely to come down here. So I'll just take a shot at it. This is how you lose money. You don't have your setup and you're kind of squinting at it and looking at it. And then what happens in here? Look at the auction. It's disrupted. You see more on the bid at a higher level in here, and we're starting to find buyers. Okay, so don't do that. Or I shouldn't say don't do that like a parent or something. Make sure that you have a high quality setup in here. Okay, because the auction shifts, it flows. It's these aren't like the planets and with gravity, and they can be calculated. You cannot do that with the markets. Okay? As far as I know, you cannot. I know there's people out there that have been trying to do it for years and have gotten pretty good at it, but markets are constantly in flux, and there's all sorts of things pushing and pulling that no one has control over, all of these elements in here. Okay, so we don't know. Even when we think we know, down in some of these areas in here, it doesn't. We could easily have the market drop. So what do? We take our stop loss. Okay. Okay, Infinity, this is a good question about the stops for in icebergs for the ES, NQ, and RTY. I'll go through it a little bit right now. It's going to take a while, but that's what I want to go over later. Here, I'll put the link into Discord, or our Discord link in here for you, because this is going to be really helpful. We're going to go through it in detail here, right? So if you go here, you'll see it with Vadim later today at 2:30. I'm going to share the link here with you. Okay. All right, so come over here to our Discord, and here is the link. There you go. And Carlson, let's see here. For the play at hand, push what's currently in the play trend to assess how long. Well, it's always evolving. I mean, like, look at this kind of sloshing around like I was talking about earlier. I have an insight that I think it's going to come down here. But I'm not going to take a chance at it when so many times, I mean, I still do it. And sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but, try to do it at least on lower size or smaller size if you don't have a really good setup. Or just wait for your good setup. That's the best thing to do. Because look, here, I'm looking for it to trade down here. We don't have all the pieces though. All the order flow isn't aligned. And look at the buyers come back and try to squeeze these sellers. And maybe it'll trade up to here, and then maybe it rolls right back down and then trades back down to our 62 and 63 area down here. And this is how you get chopped up. All right. All right, let's go through the settings in here. There's all sorts of settings for stops and icebergs. So they're excellent. They have done quite a good job to help you out with the stops and icebergs. All right, so let's go over here, and I'm just going to run through them pretty quickly. All right, we'll go to on chart here. We're going to have to go through the on chart only. Now you'll see, like I have to go back to the original instrument here, the ES. This is the Trader Map Pro version that filters the heat map. Okay, but we were able to transfer those these stops and icebergs to the Trader Map Pro chart here, not in the subchart, but on chart. Okay, so let's go back here, and then look how horrible this looks with the heat map, right? Due to the map, this bot activity in here. All right, so let's go back. Let's look at stops and icebergs on chart here. And then I'll open up show icebergs. Okay, I've got the automatic threshold in here set to show me 21 or greater only icebergs. Okay, let's deselect it. And then now I can input 50. I can input whatever I want in here. I can put in 0, and I'll look at every single iceberg that is native to the CME. These are not synthetic icebergs or heuristic. These are native only to the CME. That's something to note as well. All right, and let's just close that up right now. And then also stops. I'm also looking at the automatic threshold here, which I suggest you guys try. But we'll deselect it and we'll put in 0 here as well. We're going to look at all stops and icebergs. Okay, it gets kind of messy. And I don't really need to look at all of them. Okay, but here we go. And here they are. All right, so I'm just looking for the bigger ones at the extremes here. That's what interests me. So maybe you don't. Maybe you want to look at all of them. Well, you can. All right, here, let's go back though, and we'll end it here on the automatic settings in here and how to use these. It's very simple. It's very intelligent what they came up with. It was actually suggested by a trader, hedge fund trader. Automatic threshold, check the box, and see how it goes to 21. And now I can't, if I click on this, it's grayed out. I can't change that. It has made this automatic suggestion in here by standard deviation in the last 30 minutes, which you can make it 60 or 2 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever you want. I have it as 30 minutes and I have a standard deviation multiplier. So it's just at 1, meaning that 1 standard deviation, okay, of all the stops and icebergs. And this will filter a lot of them out. Okay, so in fact, let's take the multiplier here. Now watch. Okay, see all the icebergs in here, 36, 36, 125, 220 up here. I'm going to use the multiplier, and I don't see any of those 36s anymore. I see the 220 though. Okay, so it still fits it. Now look at here, the threshold is up at 87. So anything below 87 will not display. In fact, it's actually displaying as a transparency in here, which get into maybe that later. 85% transparency in here. So it's still kind of showing them, to be honest. But anyway, play around with these settings, see what works for you. Again, I almost always use the default settings until I want to see something more, and then I start to adjust it. Okay, it's the same here for the stops. Right now we're looking at all of them. I don't want to look at all of them. Let's look at 30 minutes, and actually let's just bring down our standard deviation here to 0.5. Right, there we go. Now let's jump back to the ES, and here we are. Okay, this looks pretty good. Now look at this here. All right, we just had almost an extreme reading here. It's better. We have 37 stops. We have high liquidity here. This kind of small range move back down to here looks pretty good as a scalp. I would have taken something like that. Okay. And I'm not interested now though in buying. Okay. First off, I don't have a stop run. I don't really have high liquidity. I have some, but it's getting pulled. So I'm actually looking for sellers to finally now hit back into the 62, 63, or even lower here, maybe 60 liquidity here. And this looks pretty good now to me, actually. Okay, but again, I'm going to shy away from it until I get a better setup. Okay, 0 to infinity. Does that answer your question, at least for the ES? You can apply the same principles or the same actions to the NQ and the RTY. Carlson, I hope I answered your question. The structure has been evolving in this small sideways structure in here a lot, right? And it can be really tricky to trade in here. Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Okay, well, let's wrap it up. Tom B is next. He will go through his way of looking at stops and icebergs and maybe market pulse as well. We might go through maybe more market pulse later this afternoon as well. I will get that setup checklist for you, and we'll put it into the setups checklist as well, so you guys can use that as a template. Okay, for that'll be for later today in that AMA Ask Me Anything webinar with Vadim, as we go through stops and icebergs and all of the whole MBO bundle of indicators in detail. All right, so good luck everybody with the competition. We'll see you later today. One more thing, I believe, let me double check here. Yeah, so if you are interested in, if you're not partaking in the competition, that's okay. I mean, it's kind of a pity. It's a great thing in here, but look at, we're having the sale on the MBO bundle right here. Okay, so it kind of it wasn't actually, it kind of happened by chance, to be honest, that we're doing the competition. And we're like, oh well, let's just give them the MBO bundle, and then we'll give them the 50% off at the same time. So you're getting 50% off your MBO bundle here, 60% off Bookmap Global Plus for the first month for Cyber Monday. You will need to put in your, for the competition, you're going to get free data only for the duration of the competition, but you will need data for your Global Plus version of Bookmap here for that month. Okay, click on Explore the click on Explore the Details and scroll down. Here's your Cyber Monday deal. Here's your add-ons deal. Okay, a lot of you guys have been asking about your add-ons deal for this MBO bundle. This is it. Here it is. Okay, you get 21 days here actually to make your decision. I would, if you want to try it out, this is the time. Try it now. All right. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. We'll see you later in the afternoon for the AMA. With Vadim, we'll go through stops and icebergs in detail and market pulse, and we'll also have that set up for you later. All right, so you can put that into the into the setups checklist indicator. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for coming. We will catch up with you later today. All right, yep, take care. Bye-bye.